Gurubhyo Namaha. Swami refers to Kumar Swami only. Swami is considered as a common name for God. Parameshwara is Swami, Mahavishnu is Swami, Vigneshwara is Swami, and all gods are Swami. Not only does the Saguna Brahman, but also Nirguna Brahman, which has taken the form of so many different gods, and even the gods of other religions are referred to as Swami. But the word Swami is truly applicable to one god only. It is as though the other gods have only borrowed or misappropriated the title. That true Swami is Subramanyar, Murugan, Muruga Perumal, as he is lovingly referred, is this child god Kumaraswamy. If you ask me as to how can I make such a statement and what is the authority, I would quote Amarakosham. Agaradi and Nigandu are words for dictionaries in Tamil and Sanskrit respectively. The famous Sanskrit dictionary is Amarakosham. It is also referred as Amaram. Here I should first say a few things about the author of Amarakosha. Though this matter is not directly connected to why Swami means Kumar Swami, it has certain other relevance, such as the fact that it brings out how differing religions are related to each other, and it clearly brings out the greatness of Adi Shankara. The book under reference I said is Amarakosham. Kosham means a treasure chest. Since it's a treasure chest of inestimable value, giving meaning to words and combination of words, the word Kosham is most apt. Though there are many dictionaries, it is Amarakosham that is most famous. How did the word Amara evolve? Undoubtedly, a dictionary in the Sanskrit language, since it is the language of the gods, it is appropriate that it is eternal or Amara. Moreover, despite all the efforts to declare it a dead language, Sanskrit continues to not only survive but flourish. So it is in the rightness of things that a dictionary in Sanskrit be called Amarakosham. But this book was called Amarakosham because its author was Amarasimha. Amarasimha was an intellectual giant. His knowledge of the language was vast and deep. Not only that, he had a clear grasp of any and every subject he touches. In addition to his grasp of the language, he was not a Hindu, he belonged to the Jains. Jains were great scholars. They have a special place in literature in almost all the languages of India. Books such as Chintamani and Valaipati of exemplary literary merit in Tamil are all works of Jain authors only. In Sanskrit, Jains had their own Panchakavyas, as there was already existing in Sanskrit literature in the Hindu religion. Amarasimha had written many books on Jainism, but the only work that survived the test of time is the non-religious book of Amarakosham, and the man who saved it from destruction was our Adi Shankara Bhagavat Padar, though the Jains considered him as enemy number one. You know that during his lifetime, Adi Shankara walked around the whole country and put down 72 of the so-called religions and re-established the Vaidika Sanatana Dharma, later named by the West as the Hindu religion. During this, he also met Amarasimha. It was Adi Shankara's stand that there is only one truth that is seen as many. If we understand this, we can also merge back into the one and become that, with no separateness remaining. This stand of Advaita is not the same as Buddhism's Sunyata. They hold the view that everything is Shunyam or Maya. They interrupt the statement Drishti Jnanamayam Kritva Pashyata Brahmamayam Jagat to mean பார்வையை புனிதம் ஆக்கிக் கொண்டு பார்ப்பது அனைத்தும் இறைவன் என்று தெரிந்து கொள். Meaning, having sanctified your vision, know that all that is seen is Brahman. The difference is in the end point, which is not sunyata but the wholesomeness of purnata. Buddhism stops at shunyata, whereas Adi Shankara arrives at purnata. Buddhism says no asti or not there, and Adi Shankara says asti or it is there. For the Jains and their religious guru of Jainar, an endpoint is asti na asti, on the lines of is and is not, meaning may be, may not be. Amarasimha, who had this sort of Jain viewpoint, had a war of words with Adi Shankara. He said that he will talk only from behind a screen. Adi Shankara agreed to this without analyzing the reason for his condition. The war of words between Adi Shankara and Amarasimha started in front of a huge audience of learned. Adi Shankara started asking a series of questions. Amarasimha gave prompt and perfect replies. Adi Shankara was quite surprised. For a second he paused. He could immediately catch on to the truth. His questions had been answered not by Amarasimha but by goddess of learning and knowledge, Saraswati Devi, speaking in Amarasimha's voice. For long he had been Saraswati's devotee. Jaina religious beliefs do not approve of such worship of individual gods, but he had taken Saraswati Devi's blessings even in writing the books in support of Jain religion. This was hypocrisy of the worst kind, even from the point of view of the Jains. There are many people in this world who claim themselves to be agnostics or rationalists and non believers in blind beliefs. But when confronted with the problems of life, they first run to Tirupati Balaji or Mariamman. Then they claim, I had to respect the feelings of my better half, though I do not subscribe to these things. With a smirk, Amarasimha on such grounds had become a devotee of Saraswati Devi. He had sought and taken her anugraha in writing all his anti-Hindu propaganda materials. Depending on the sincerity of the prayers, Gods grant your wishes. Behind the curtain, he had invoked Goddess Saraswati in an earthen pot of water known as Kumbha. He knew beforehand that, however learned he may be, all that would be tantamount to a candle before the brilliance of the sun in front of his opponent, Adi Shankara. So he had already surrendered to Vagdevi Saraswati. Her invocation in a ghatam and her answering questions on his behalf were all with her blessings only. Adi Shankara could divine the truth in no time. He prayed to Saraswati, Mother, you have helped a man whose very religion is anti gods. If your blessings are based on the intensity of his prayers, don't you have to draw a line as to how much to help a nefarious purpose? You have helped him to write his anti devotional books and now have helped him so far in withstanding my arguments. Mother, you have helped him enough. She vanished. The curtain fell down. Amarasimha accepted defeat. Saras, that is water source or level. Goddess of that is Saraswati. Water source or level meaning source and level of knowledge. When that is not clear and turbid, Saraswati has no place there. What was the condition existing when Acharyal came into this world? 72 irreligious viewpoints in the garb of intellectual beliefs were masquerading as religions, creating chaos out of confusion. Saras had become a mire of dross by his Advaita doctrine. He dredged the mire and salvaged Saraswati Devi herself. There is a shloka on these lines starting with the words Vaktaram Asadhya. Thus, to make Saraswati regain her original splendor, he had to remove Saraswati. Then Acharya also blessed Amarasimha. That is the story of Amarakosham. After losing the war of words, Amarasimha accepted defeat. He had written in support of Jain philosophy as much as Adi Shankara had written on Advaita and devotion. Having lost, he felt that whatever he had written earlier should be destroyed. There are people of truth and integrity in every religion, especially amongst Jains. Truth, honesty, and integrity were held very high. When the Jains had an argument with Tirugyana Samandamurti, they had declared that if they lose the argument, they will self destruct by sitting on the Karumaram. Karumaram was a well oiled spire of wood which pierced through the arse hole, and the person died a very painful death. The Jains lost the argument. Samanthamurti voluntarily exonerated the Jains, but the Jains were insistent that they will keep up the vow. That is how particular they were in living up to their words. Once his principal stand was disapproved, Amarasimha sincerely felt that his books were irrelevant. So he lighted up a big fire and started throwing his suvadis one by one into the fire. What he had written over the years with Saraswati's Anugraha. Acharyal came to know about this. He did not feel happy even one bit. He came running to Amarasimha. Oh no, what are you doing? In the world, different opinions will be there. Only when opposing views exist, one's own views can be analyzed by comparison and contrast. Whatever be your religion and viewpoint, I have great regards for your vast intellect. You have written your books with much erudition and logic. Let the reality be different, but that is no reason for destroying your writings. There is beauty of presentation and literary merit in your writings. Please do not destroy them by burning. Acharyal pleaded with Amarasimha. Amarakosham was saved by Acharyal's pleading. All his other books of Jain religious Siddhanta had already been burnt off. Thus, Amarakosham was saved for posterity true to its name of being Amara, meaning immortal. When a book like a dictionary or encyclopedia is written, the writer should guard against falling prey to parochialism and partiality. Even words of other religions should be described and absolute objectivity. There should be no discrimination, condemnation, decrying, and passing of judgment. He should remain true to words and their meanings. Amarasimha, a Jain, has written this Amarakosham with such perfect balance that even today students of Sanskrit learn it by heart. What? Learn a dictionary by heart? Is it a shloka or poem or literary work? How to commit a dictionary to memory? You may wonder, but Amarakosham is like a literary piece full of beautiful poems, easy to commit to memory. Those days, all Shastras, why only philosophy and religious books, but Ayurveda, medicine and health, Dhanurveda, archery, carpentry, music, Jyotisha, including astrology, and even dictionary were written in the poetic form only. Reason was that printing was not known those days. You could not make as many copies as there were students. To memorize was the in thing. Prose cannot be remembered so easily, but a poem with meter, rhyme, and rhythm can be committed to memory easily. This is the reason why all Shastras had to be committed to memory in the olden days. The more you exercise the brain with trust that you can remember, more it can be made to memorize and recall. There were great Mahapanditas who could store and retrieve vast amount of data much more than and much faster than modern day computers with clarity, logic, intelligence, and all that with reference to the context. When you have books for ready reference, we have nothing absorbed and learnt in depth. There are more libraries now, but in the past, there were more walking, living libraries among humans. Memorizing has the advantage of enabling concentration and mental discipline. When a student spent more time in memorizing, he or she was automatically prevented from letting the mind run helter-skelter into matters not related to the subject under study. So, accordingly, all Shastras were written in Padyam poetry and not in Gadyam prose. Amarasimha had written Amarakosha in beautiful poetic form. In it, while referring to the names of Hindu gods, he included all other names meant for that particular Devata. Without an iota of indifference or lack of care, he kept listing all the names for that particular deity. If you hear it, it will not sound like a dictionary, but more like chanting the Sahasranama Archana. Listen to what Amaram says as the meaning for the word Shambhu. Shambhu, Isha, Pashupati, Shiva, Suli, Maheshwara, Ishvara, Sarva Ishana, Chandrasekhara, Buddhesa, Kantaparasu, Giriso Mruda, Mrutyunjaya, Krittivasa, Pinaki, Pramadadi. The way Amarasimha has handled the words, he seems to say it with love. He has placed the words as though adding flowers to the garland. He has made it easy for the students to memorize. The colon at the end of the words may be read as though ending in a ha, the Sanskrit visarga. When it comes to the word Indra, he literally overflows with love as though Indra Lokamata Mak Shiroda Tanaya Rama Bhargavi Loka Gyanani Kshira Sagara Kanyaka Lakshmi Padmalaya Padma Kamala Sri Haripriya. It goes on more like a stotra in praise than a dictionary meaning. Though Amarasimha is so impartial when it comes to Buddhism, he could not help being slightly sarcastic. He had every reason to be more critical of Hinduism than Buddhism, not talking about God and not subscribing to the practice of yajna because of cruelty to animals are 2 points of views common to Jains and Buddhists. There are some more commonalities too between those two religions. It is human nature to ignore our Janmaveri, lifetime enemy, who may be living somewhere far away, but he more critical of the next door neighbor. There may not be much enmity, but more intolerance and disapproval. One would be looking forward to opportunities to put him in his place. Likewise, when it came to give the meaning for the word Buddha, he has not done justice. Tathagatar as a definition of Buddha meaning someone who remains steadfast in his mission is noticeable by its absence. Actually, Tathagatar and Sakyamuni are attributed to the Jains Mahavira than Buddha. When it comes to Hindu names, he has not shown any prejudice, not even to the extent that Vaishnavites and Shaivites within Hindu religion show each other. So, to commit Amaram to memory by heart has been common for Shaiva Vaishnava students learning Sanskrit. In Amarakosham, Amarasimha refers to Lord Subramanya as Swami, a word not used for any other god. So we have to accept Amarakosham verbatim when it says Devasenapati Sura Swami Gajamukha Anuja. Writing of compassion. There is one more proof occurring to me in support of my contention that Swami as a name is belonging to Subramanya Swami only. You may be aware of some people connecting Subramanya with Tirupati. There are people who believe that Venkatramana Swami is Subramanya. Venkatramana Swami is also Paramatma, who is all gods. He is Perumal or Parameshwara. That is why he gets Archana with Bilva leaves as is normally done to Shiva. He is also Ambal or Devi. His Abhishekam is done on Friday and after that they dress him up in a sari. He is all gods in one. Another reason for considering him as Subramanya is the fact that Subramanya's temples are all mostly located on hilltops and Tirupati is a hilltop. The god there is called Balaji. Bala means Kumara. Bala and Kumara are names of Subramanya. There is a water point in Tirupati by name Kumaradhara. Moreover, the Teppakulam or pond in Tirupati is called Swami Pushkarani. This sounds yet another reason for holding that Swami is Kumara and his pond is Swami Pushkarani. Let us leave this aside. The entire universe of Jiva and Jadam, all animate and inanimate, all living and non living, are his assets or Swamis, and so also he is Swami. Let us see as to why did he get that special name. Why is such greatness attributed to him? In the mega or clouds, lightning flashes only for a short span of time. Within that fraction of a second, it flashes such brilliance and power as cannot be generated by many electrical powerhouses. Though visible only for a fraction of a second, it was not non existing before its appearance. Non existing cannot come into being. Scientists say that electricity is ever present everywhere. Normally, it is not seen. When it is seen, when water becomes water vapor and roams about in the skies, some portion separates as negatively charged and some as positively charged. When these come closer by attraction with a conducting medium in between, lightning occurs. When the oppositely charged portions come into contact, the omnipotent, omnipresent electricity is seen as lightning. What was not seen becomes seen when the separated reunite with brilliance, with thunder and lightning, with an outpouring of electricity. This is the Jada Shakti or inanimate power of electricity. The basis of this inanimate power is the Sat Shakti, Chit Shakti, Jnana Shakti, Ananda Shakti, Arivu Shakti present everywhere. Arivu in Tamil is a word not directly translatable into English. It is close to the meaning of the Sanskrit word jnana. It has awareness and knowledge rolled into one. That Satchit Anandam, being awareness bliss, is everywhere as itself as Param Porul. What was one potency separates as positive and negative charges or as right and left entities. This right and left separation is quite appropriate. In the Ardhanari Ishvara column, Ishvara is the right side and Ambal is the left side. Instead of Ambal, it could be Vishnu to form Shankara Narayana. It is not enough to separate. It is not enough if the clouds are created with opposite polarity. What was one, the prime ordeal one, knowingly separates into many is not enough. To bless the so created world, the right Shiva and left Ambal have to combine to the beget Subramanya holding the lightning like Velayuda. What was Brahmam or Brahmagyam with no prefix or suffix becomes the Subramanyam. It gets the title as Swami. The outer lightning removes the outer darkness for a short time. Subramanyam is the light of grace. It cannot and does remove inner and outer darkness forever. Nobody can withstand its pull. The body dies when electrocuted. The ego just goes when touched by that Subramanyam. We ourselves become Jyoti Swarupa. Arunagirinathar reveals this great truth in Kandara Anubhuti. The one becomes two and rejoins the to become one while removing our imagined separateness. Son. Arunagirinathar was a great devotee of Subramanya Swami. He has written Tirupugal, which means thousands of songs, all in praise of Subramanya Swami's life and exploits. He has described the Advaita Anubhava that he got from Subramanya in Kandar Anubhuti. He has ended all his Tirupugal songs with the words Perumale. Generally, this word Perumal stands for Mahavishnu only. In the villages, What they refer to as Ishwaran Kovil is Shiva temple, and that referred as Perumal Kovil is the Vishnu temple. However, he is repeatedly ending all his songs with the words Perumale somehow seems most appropriate. In Tamil Nadu, often this Murugan or Kumaran is also referred as Marugan. The reason for this is that Kumaran is not only Shiva Parvati's son but also Parvati's brother Mahavishnu's son-in-law too. So he is Thirumal's Maru Magan, that is son-in-law. Thirumal is Perumal and his son-in-law too gets his special name of Perumal. Its literal meaning in Tamil being the big man. His maternal uncle is also his father-in-law. So he has the double fame of being the son of Shiva and son-in-law of Vishnu. But in North India, this relationship is not accepted. There he is forever a celibate. In some of his temples in the north, ladies are not permitted. He is not known there as Subramanya but Kartikeya. From Parameshwara's third eye, 6 sparks came out and landed in Saravana Poigai and became 6 babies. They were cared for by the 6 Kritika girls, the constellation of stars of that name. Because of their name, he got the name of Kartikeya. As a child, he is Kumara or Kumaraswamy. So in North India, Kumar means only Kartikeya. He is the son of Parvati Parameshwara. Down south, the sun is Pillai or Pillayar stands for Ganesha. Shiva Shakti, the parents of the entire universe, are parents of Ganesha and Kartikeya. But somehow, Ganesha in North India does not have this Kumar or Kumara name. Kalidasa wrote a drama on the birth of Kartikeya known as Kumara Sambhavam. This phrase Kumara Sambhavam first occurs in Valmiki's Ramayana. In Balakanda, sage Vishwamitra tells Rama Lakshmana the story of the birth of Skanda, Balakandam 37th Sargam. Normally, Valmiki refrains from giving Falashruti after a story. In this case, however, as an exception, he says that once if you become a devotee of Kumara, the devotee will be endowed with all success and welfare in this world, and after death will go to Skandaloka. This one sargam of 32 shlokas has been elaborated by Kalidasa, having taken the title Kumara Sambhavam from the Valmiki Ramayana. Using this word Kumara Subramanya Upasana came to be called Kaumaram as one of the 6 religions or Shanmatam, said to have been re-established by Adi Shankara. To pray to Ganapati as the god is Ganapatyam, worship of the sun is called Sauram, Shiva worship is Shaivam, Shakti worship is Saktam, to consider Vishnu as the be-all and end-all is Vaishnavam. To worship Kumara as the supreme divinity is Kaumaram. Kumara is also called Skanda. The root meaning of this word is to appear or outcome. As the lightning comes out of the clouds, he came out of the Shiva Jyoti. The Puranam of his birth and exploits is Skandam. This was written by Kashyapa Shivacharya in Kanjipuram as Kanda Puranam. Skanda becomes Skanda in Tamil. In south, he is famous as the son-in-law Maruman or Muruga. In north, he remained as the son. Om Shri Mahaperiva Sharanam.